So the way that we're going to start this game is you guys do not know one another. You have no clue on who the person is sitting beside you or anything like that. But where we're starting this game is a small little tavern that is a few miles north of Oslov. Now I'm going to share the map to you guys. This is the massive Rassilon map, the beautiful Rassilon map, and you can see I'm going to sync it up to you guys. So you can see where Oslov is, right? That's a huge metropolis that is.
It may take a while for it to load in.
Okay. Well, Oslov is a very it's a town that's in decline. And because it's getting colder in Hellfrost, we're in the year 499 IR right now. Sort of like it would be AD for us. But IR means the start of the ice rise, which is to the north. Once you get the map, you'll be able to look up north and you'll see this massive ice wall that extends across the entire map from the east coast to the west coast. And IR not only is the start of the ice rise, but it's the end of the Great Blizzard War, where everybody fought one another, basically. And we're in the year 499. So it's getting colder and colder, and the winters are starting to be longer and longer. And Oslov has been affected by this. And Oslov has always welcomed everyone in the, the weathered lands to. They've always, the withered lands, I'm sorry. They've always had open arms. But with the temperatures dropping, there's less food, it's harder to grow grains and stuff like that, and Oslov is now overflooded. Huge crime rates, people are killing each other over bread and scraps of rotten meat and stuff. And for about a mile outside of Oslov, there is a huge city basically made out of tents, and it's had the term coined Tent Town. And there's a lot more crime in there than there is inside of Oslov. And, there's really not a lot of entrance that's allowed in Oslov anymore. So this arrow right here that I'm moving, this is where you guys are starting. You started in Oslov, but you headed to the Four Sheaves, and it's not the best tavern in Rassilon. It's not the most, it doesn't have the best drinks, it doesn't have the best crowd, doesn't have the best music, the food's almost palatable. But a couple of days ago, while you were all in Oslov, you answered a flyer that was nailed in the market square. And this flyer was asking for men and women of stout, heart-seeking, adventurous blood to come to the Four Sheaves Tavern. And the notice said to meet here, and you did. So as you arrived, you found the table you were supposed to wait at, and it's not empty. There's quite a few other adventurers that are sitting at the table with you. So it seems like a lot of others answered the call as well. So there's no sign of this patron that you were told to meet here, but it seems like there's really nothing else to do except for spend a few coins on food and drink. But the tavern keep, has actually given you the first round and some porridge for free, because that's part of waiting for the patron to arrive here. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? There's 3 of you around this table, and I'll let all of you introduce yourselves, and then we'll continue on. You guys keep giving each other weird looks, like, who the hell is this? Who the hell is this? Etc. So,
All right. We're sitting all at the table. How many other people are here?
There are quite a few people inside of the Four Sheaves Tavern, but at the table on the flyer, there's only 3 of you. A couple of dwarves and a female.
Okay, so just at the table that we're at, we're all 3 sitting here alone.
Correct. Yep.
All right.
Anyone
look over
wanna-
at one of the dwarves. I see that one is a lot more handsome than the other.
Yeah, one looks like Ricky Martin compared to the other.
Easy there.
But which one's which?
Right. All right. I look at the one that doesn't seem to be as disfigured. Or I look at them both, but I address the one that is not disfigured. So, brother dwarf, what brings you here?
I guess that would be Jot.
Are you here for this adventure as well?
Yes, I'm here for this adventure. My name is Yacht.
Ooh,
Yacht,
Yacht.
it's nice to meet you. I am the merciful daughter of Ylra, mother of light, great healer, the outstretched hand. At this point, I'm standing up. Sower of peace, walker of the roads, seer of sights, and guardian of those in need. And I look
Wow.
over to the other dwarf. And curious
So as you
what your name is.
introduce yourself, there are quite a few patrons of the tavern that applaud you and do a toast to you.
Oh, excellent.
Jesus, that was a mouthful.
I do a slight bow in their direction. Turn back to my other brother dwarf. And who are you, sir?
Well, I'm the handsome devil known as Fergus the Ghastly. Unfortunately, I got this wonderful scare at a young age. Father left home, and I was a devil like this one. It was a wood chipper accident.
I don't even know what to say. A wood chipper accident, huh? Very nice.
Yeah.
Really? I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah, you don't have to lie. I know I'm hideous.
He's got like a -6 charisma.
Hence the name, the Ghastly.
So as all of you conclude your pleasantries and introduce one another, the tavern door opens up with a gust of wind and snow coming into the tavern, and in steps a well-dressed man. And the man takes off his coat, he takes off a cloak that is over it, hangs him up onto the rack by the door, and shakes off the snow from his boots and his hat. And then he kind of looks over at the table, and he approaches you. He doesn't look around, he's just focused on you and the table. He gets to the table, and then he bows. And then he takes the last seat that is there at the table. And he says, thank you for coming, my friends. It is good to see the call. People actually had shown up. I had done this a couple of days ago, and it was just a waste of time. So, my name is Rodgar. Rodgar Ap On. And he orders a round of drinks as the barmaid comes up, and he actually orders a drink for himself and another round of drinks for all of you. And he says that he's a farmer from the village of Dalsetter. And on the map, Dalsetter is west and sort of like a northwest from where you're at now at the Four Sheaves. And he says, my friends, I'm going to get right to the point here. I'm actually kind of in dire needs. And I'm going to offer all of you 50 gold shields apiece. And I wish you to take a cart to the village of Dunross, which is between the Four Sheaves where you're at now and Dalsetter. And he says, the cart is right outside, a couple of trustworthy steeds, and I need you to take this cart to Dunross. I need you to collect a shipment of flour that I have stored there in one of my granaries. And then after you get the flour, I then need you to take it to Dalsetter to a baker. And it shouldn't take you more than a couple of days. You know, it's the morning now, so you should be there by tomorrow evening. And Rodgar says, I would go myself, but actually I'm forced to go back to Oslov due to some other business that I have to attend to. So, as you take the flour to Dalsetter, the baker inside of the baker will pay you, and then you can go ahead and take the 50 gold shields. That's for each of you, not total. Take it out of what the baker's going to pay me, and then get directions from the baker, because he knows where I live, and then take the rest of my money and take it to my home and just drop it off in one of my servants. They will get it from you. And the baker knows where I live, and I'll get it later next time that I go to Dalsetter here in the next week or so. But I know it's...
Me, sir.
Yeah, yes. And what is your name, my lady?
Oh. Well, if you had not heard, then I am the merciful daughter of Yer,
Ooh.
mother of light and the great healer, and
Ooh, are you-
outstretched hand.
You wouldn't happen to be a sister of
Sower
mercy,
peace
would you?
And walker of roads.
It goes on for 5 minutes. Get another round.
And curious as to why that we are here, I thought possibly someone would be a great need.
Actually, there is great need, because in Dalsetter, they are out of flour. And of course, winter is approaching and it is getting colder, and bread is one of our main staples in our diet. So yes, it is actually in great need, O Mercy, our sister of mercy. They are in great need at Dalsetter.
Do you mean that lives might be at risk if we don't get this flour there?
Yes, because in Dalsetter they had a poor harvest, and with the cold winter means that they're rather short of flour. And when the snows begin, they're
She
going to
stands
be
up
snowed
and
in.
again. Then I will take on. I will take on this quest.
Well, that's good to know, Sister of Mercy.
I will
Because
not
these
let
are some
any starve in this land.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, because these are important times, and these are the emergency supplies that Dalsetter is going to need. Vital if they're going to survive the winter. So thank you very much, Sister of Mercy, and thank you for having your companions along. So he reaches into his jacket. He has about 8 different jackets on. And he pulls out a scroll. And he places it on the table in front of you. And he opens it up, and it's a map of the area. And then he has an envelope that he also pulls out of his pocket. And he says, this is a letter that's authorizing you to take the flour, and then you're going to have to go to Dunross first. So you give this to the grain master there, the granary master. He'll see my seal, and then you can take this. He'll give you the access to the storage facility. You get the 50 or so sacks of grain that I have in there that have been ground into flour. Well, hopefully by now I pay a premium price for them to do this, so hopefully it's already ground into flour. And then you take these 50 or so sacks of flour and then go to Dalsetter. So Dunross is a place, it's like a small milling town. And that's where all of the farmers take their grains to be milled into flour. And then, of course, there's a bunch of storage facilities. And then from there, the owners of the flour, they distribute it wherever it needs to be distributed from there.
Oh, this is all very interesting, though. I don't need to know the daily life of flour. However, did you have any guards that were going to accompany this flour? We wouldn't want anything to happen to it, of course.
No, that's why I'm actually hiring you. It looks like your two companions.
I'm no guard.
Yes,
these
but
gentlemen.
you don't know one another. I figured you were all together.
Well, they're not with me exactly, but
Well,
are these
I'm
gentlemen guards?
I'm sure these two frost dwarves they look like they can handle themselves. It looks like the one here has been in quite a few fights.
Indeed.
Yeah, isn't that
Friendly frost dwarves. It seems like you can swing a weapon. Am I not mistaken here?
I have been known to guard a wagon or two.
Oh, well, that's good. Then you should be fine, Sister of Mercy. You shouldn't expect any troubles on this. It's just a short journey. You should be to Dunross by tomorrow evening. Late afternoon, early evening tomorrow.
All right. What to say, you dwarves? You say your name
I'm
is
in.
Jot?
Excuse me, Sister of Mercy?
How do you pronounce your name again? Jot, you say?
Yacht.
Yeah. And Fergus, correct?
correct? I'm in.
Yacht gives a why the hell not shrug.
Well, I appreciate the help. And Rodgar stands up and he shakes everyone's hands. And he says he must be off. He must be getting back to Oslov for some important business. And he says the wagon is outside with a couple of my most trustworthy steeds. I bid you adieu, my friends. And then he bows and walks back over to the exit of the sheave and grabs his cloak and his coat. And then he shuts the door behind him as he leaves the tavern.
Well, this looks like a very important mission. I pray the gods we don't fail those poor people. Would possibly die if we don't get this food to them in time.
Yeah, they are needing emergency supplies, that's for sure.
Well, one more round and then we'll go.
Dave, what's the weather like here?
It is a very light snow, but about a week ago, there was a pretty heavy snow. So there's still quite a bit of snow on the ground, so as you take steps, you can hear the snow crunching under your feet with every step that you take.
The cart's outside. Is it covered?
It is. It does have a cover, but it's not covered at the moment. Typically because if there are covered wagons, usually that means that there's something in it. So, but if you want to put the cover up, that's fine with me. But there is a cover. It's just not up right now.
Okay, I'm going to grab some cold gear from the general store.
Sure.
Before we
Yeah, you
head out.
guys. Yeah, sure. You guys could all get some furs and whatnot. In fact, you can all add some furs to keep you warm, because there will be some fatigue rolls, some cold checks from time to time, depending, certain variables if you have a campfire and all that other good stuff. So, all right. So I guess you guys want to take up this job from Mr. Rodgar and get 50 gold shields apiece, which is quite a bit.
Is
For an
there
adventure of
anyone
your
else in the
status?
tavern that has a question mark over their head?
There is not. You
Okay,
look
I
around
guess
and
we
you
can
see
take
no
this one.
more. Yeah, you see no more yellow exclamation points over any of the vendors' heads. But like I was saying, Dunross, it's like a small town that has a large mill, and it basically just services all of the farming areas around in this area. And they take the grains there, they mill it, they charge the farmers a fee, and then they store it for them. And then whenever the farmer is ready to take that ground up flour to other towns or cities, and that's when they do it. And it's just stored there until it's moved. It's ground and stored. So it's a pretty good system. And plus it allows the smaller villages in the area access to a mill, so they don't have to go and have a major expense of buying a mill. You know what I mean? So outside of the tavern is a wagon, and you take a couple of minutes and you put the cover up. And it's got two surly-looking horses, and it looks like they're nuzzling through the snow trying to find some grass. And they're inside of the cart. There are a bunch of thick winter blankets, and there's also, and like I said, you don't even have to pay for the blankets or furs that you guys were just going to use because they were in a cart anyway. And then there's also several bags of oats. That's enough to feed the horses for 4 days. So there's plenty of feed as well.
Is there no driver?
No, there's no driver. But I'm not going to make you guys do any kind of driving role as long as you're just kind of leading the horses along the road. You know what I mean?
I started looking around and talking loudly. I thought there was going to be some type of driver. I didn't think this was part of the deal that we were going to have to navigate this wagon.
It's alright, we'll figure it out.
One of the tavern keeps is out sweeping the patio of the tavern, and he says, "Ah, lovely, you've never rode a horse before?"
No, I haven't.
Sure, but not the wagon.
You just point it in the direction you want to go and just keep slapping the leather straps every once in a while. That's how I see it. Shouldn't be too hard. And he just kind of chuckles and finishes sweeping and goes back into the tavern.
Well, I guess it can't be too hard.
Yeah, but getting to Dunross, it should take, like I said, you'll be there by, probably in the morning, and then after picking up the grains, it's just a short trip to Dalsetter from there.
So, we're going to be traveling at night. So, anyone want to maybe sleep in the back of the wagon for shifts? I can start driving first if you like.
Yeah, we can do that if you want.
Alright, Dave, looks like we're going to, I'm going to drive, take first shift, so to speak. If we're going to be driving through the night, they're going to rest and we'll swap out.
Okay, sounds good. So you're okay there, Mercy. You're able to get this wagon going. Yacht and Fargus, I guess you're in the back of the wagon, right? You guys travel a few hours and you stop to eat some lunch. And there's also a couple of days of rations for each of you in the wagon as well. You eat, you rest the horses, give them some oats, a little bit of water, and then you set off again. So like I said, the snow under your feet is thin and crunchy with every step that you take. And because, like I said, about a week ago, there was a flurry, and that was actually a lot of snow that had fallen throughout the entire region. And you know that within the next couple of weeks or so, the harsh winter is going to be upon you, and traveling like this is pretty much going to be almost impossible. So as you guys travel on, you have some food, the road begins to climb, and you start to get closer to the jagged peaks. So you're probably at about here, where the small rolling foothills of the jagged peaks start. And now, why don't you guys give me a common knowledge check, which would just be just a basic smarts roll. Our first roll. All right. So, Mercy, you remember several times that this region is inhabited by all kinds of different fearsome beasts and whatnot. So as you're traveling on, I want you guys to all now give me a notice check. Because all of a sudden, behind trees, behind several large bushes covered with snow, the horses start to neigh and they start to resist you a little bit, Mercy, as 3 orcs pop out from behind trees and other bushes. So everyone is okay except for, I need one more notice roll. I need a notice roll from Yacht. And that's, if you don't have notice, then it will be unskilled. All right, very nice. You even had a raise. So all 3 of you are not taken by surprise as I give you our first map. I will put you guys down on the map. Mercy, you're up front. And there are 3 orcs, like I said, that come out from behind the bushes and the trees. And there will be one here, one here, and then the last one here. All right. So there we go. You guys are not taken by surprise, which is good, because you all had successful notice checks. So now what we're going to do is go to initiative. And of course, there's no cards. Well, there's no dice rolled for initiative. So let's draw cards. Oops. Actually, what we need to do is we'll go through and we're going to go through the entire tracker. There you go. It's shared. And Yacht, you're inside of the wagon, and you hear all of that scuffling and whatnot outside. So each square is 1 inch of movement, which is basically 2 yards or 6 feet for every square. So Yacht, you have a movement of 5. So you're up. You could come out the front, or you can go out the back, because you can see an orc from the to the rear, and then if you stick your head out, you can see the 2 orcs that are in front of you. So what do you do, Yacht? And also, there is a run mechanic in this game where you can roll a d6 and add that on to your movement. But that costs an action. But there's also multi-actions in here, so we'll explain that as you guys get to it. All right, so Yacht, it looks like you're going to the orc in the back, as the orcs are screaming for you to surrender, and we want to eat your horses. We want to eat your horses. So Yacht, looks like you're engaging, and you hit the orc with a 6. Thank you, Dark Moss. Thanks for the follow. All right, so it looks like you've done enough damage. You've shaken the orc. So I will go ahead and apply that. So now it's going to have to do a spirit roll. Nice job. So let's go next. The Jack of Hearts to Fargus. What does Fargus do?
All right, I'm going to move up to the Orc Warrior number 2.
Okay. Jump out of the cart. Excuse me, Mercy.
And it's agility to attack, correct?
It is your fighting. Yeah, so you just go to, on your skills, you just roll fighting, your fighting check. And you have a D8 fighting, so an 8 and a 6 will roll. Very nice. Your fighting attack, let's see, let's drop that on the orc. And it looks like that's going to be a miss on the orc, I think. Let me check. Yeah, the parry is a 6 on the orc, so that's a miss. All right, let's go to Mercy. Lord have
kinda-
mercy.
I kind of look around very shocked about what's happening.
Thanks, Dragon.
And
Yeah.
I kind of stutter out a few words, but you can't have the horses. We need them to get to the next town.
Well, go ahead and surrender and let us have one horse and we'll eat one horse. No, give us both horses.
No, you're outnumbered here. Surely the horse is not worth this.
The one, he says, I count 1, 2, there's 5 of us. And it looks like there's 1, 3, 4, 5 of you. We still outnumber you.
I said no horses, and I cast. Bright lights come from my hands and shoot to their eyes.
Oh, which one?
Just the two in front of me. I don't know about the one behind me.
Okay. And what spell are you using? What power, sorry. Gotta
Its
get used to the
official
terminology.
name is called stun.
Ah. But with the trappings in Savage Worlds, you can rename your spell whatever you want, and you can do whatever visual effects. I like that. Beautiful thing about Savage Worlds, the trappings. All right. So it looks like you've got a target number 4 roll, which is nice.
And that's a roll against their vigor.
Is it, do I have to do a vigor roll now, or is it just compared versus their vigor?
No, it's they roll against it. They roll a vigor, and
Okay.
if they don't hit the target's number, then they are shaken.
All right, so the one on the left fails his vigor check, so he'll be shaken, and that will be Orc Warrior. So we're going to make him shaken, and now the Orc that is engaged with Fargus, he ties you. So does tie go to the monster, or does tie go to you? I guess you didn't beat the number, so I guess he's not shaken.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, the orc on the left there, and he has got bright, glowing lights in his eyes. He's kind of mesmerized by that.
So he's
Anything.
He's running around in circles going, the bees! The bees are all over me! As he's swatting the bees around his head. Looking like Chris Farley. The bees! Oh my god, the flesh is melting off of my face! Okay, so it's now that orc's turn. He was successful, and with the new errata with Savage Worlds, a successful spirit check means that he can take his actions as normal. So that's pretty nice. He's going to go ahead and take his bow. He had his bow already drawn. He's going to move to about right here, and then he's going to fire at you. So let's do a shooting check on Mercy. And the arrow streaks past you. Misses you. All right, the Orc Warrior that's on you, Fargus, attacks, and he is going to drop his bow, and he is going to pull out his weapon, which is an axe. So that'll be a minus, and it's actually a short sword. So for the multi-action penalty, he's going to get a -2 to his attack, and we'll do a fighting roll now on you. And look at that, the fighting roll, well, the -2 misses you as you duck from it. All right, so the orc is still shaken back here with you. So I am going to go ahead and spend one of my Dungeon Master bennies, and I'm going to drop it into the combat tracker, and it says I used a benny, and he's no longer shaken. So I will go ahead and attack you with my short sword back here, and that will be with a fighting roll. So Yacht, you dodge out of the way as he swings and almost hits you in the head with it. All right, so, oh, look at that. Very nice. Fargus, you've got a Joker, and it's Joker's Wild House rule. So everybody gets a Benny. So I'm going to go ahead and add a Benny to everyone. Congratulations. So Fargus, you get +2 on your rolls and stuff. So the system already recognizes it, and you don't have to worry about any modifiers. If you want to hold your turn, you can go wherever you want in the round too. But if you want to go now, just go ahead and do it, and you'll get a +2. And it'll automatically add it in for you.
Yeah, I'll just go now and I'll attack him again. Do you want me to just drop the dice on him?
Yep, just drop the dice on him. Yep, and then it'll automatically give you a +2. So with your +2 wild Joker bonus, you hit with a 6 versus his parry. So let's see that damage now. You'll roll 2 dice. There you go. Oh man, look at that. You do 11 damage to the orc. And guess what? The orc is incapacitated and he is dead as he goes down. And check this out. Look at that blood stain on the map. Whenever you take a dead monster off of the map, it tells you where the dead corpse is at. So it's pretty cool. All right, so good job, Fargus. We are going to go ahead and go to Mercy. You can take your movement if you want to, Fargus. Yeah, sure
how
thing.
much movement do I get?
You get your pace, which is a 5. You get to move 5 squares. Every square is 6 feet or 2 yards or 1 inch if we were on a real table. So you can move 5.
Or 13 forks.
Or parsecs. All right, Mercy, what say you? The bees are gone!
I just got all off of this wagon. I'm not used to being shot at.
No.
I can't believe that dog was shooting an arrow at me.
The nerve of that orc.
I look over at Yacht for approval and notice he is also fighting.
He is. He's engaged with an orc back here.
And in that case, I'm going to try to distract this orc that's fighting with Yacht.
All right. So it looks like we've got a perk also. Hook a brother up. That means that you get an extra Benny, Mercy. So you've got 5 Bennies now for the day. Wow.
Holy moly.
Oh, wow. And Lord bought me a Benny, too. Nice. Thanks, everybody. So I'm back up to 3 Bennies.
Alright, now he has to roll a 6.
All right, let's do a vigor check. Ooh, that's a fail. So he's shaken, correct?
Yep.
Ah, why do I keep getting dizzy like this? You're gonna make the the game master, because that's what they're called in Savage Worlds. You're gonna make him use all his bennies. Ooh. Anything else for you, Mercy? Oh, look at that. A successful spirit roll. I didn't even have to use a Benny. All right, so he's going to go ahead and he's going to attack. He's going to continue to swing at you, Yacht. And he says, after I get done taking your head off, I'm going to take your head off, witch doctress. As he just kind of looks over towards you, Mercy. All right, so the fighting roll on Yacht is a miss. Oh, maybe next time. Yacht, you're up now.
And I'm just going to attack him right back.
You can't hit me, weak dwarf. Aha, told ya. All right, the orc warrior is going to move up and engage you, Fargus. He's going to meet you, and he drops his bow, and he pulls out his short sword, which is going to give him a -2 for multi-action penalty, and then he swings. Gonna take your head off. Jesus, that is a horrible miss. All right, next round. The Orc Warrior gets to go again, because in Savage Worlds, initiative is redone every single round. So he's going to swing again on you, Fargus. Uh-oh, this time he gets a hit. It's not a raise, but it's a hit. So let's go ahead and do short sword damage. Ooh, you take a total of 8 damage, so you are now shaken. So if you want to use a Benny, you can go ahead and pick up one of your bennies off of your character sheet and then drop it right on the shaken condition on your character sheet. Or if you want to wait until your turn, then you can do that too, and you can do a spirit roll to see if it's successful first. And if your spirit roll is not successful, then you can go ahead and use a Benny anyway and then take your turn. So it's up to you how you want to do it.
I'll just wait till my turn.
Okay. Yeah, because he's already gone and there's nothing else around you. So now if you were to get hit again with shaken, then the shaken would still be there, and then you would also get a wound, and then you would have to soak the wounds. And wounds are cumulative, so you would have a -1 with a wound. So, all right. So the Orc Warrior's gone. He's hit you. Now it's your turn, Fargus. So you can go ahead and give me a spirit roll to see if you get rid of that shaken condition. And the great thing about being a wild card, you roll twice. So look at that. You got a raise. So you're not shaken anymore. So let's take that shaken condition off. So now you can act as normal, and you can do your attack.
All right, I will swing away at him.
All right. That's a miss with a 5 versus his parry. I almost said armor class. All right, Yacht. Take that orc out down there. This combat's going a lot better than last time, huh, Zovia? Where we did the 50 Fathoms game, and everybody was going down in the first round because I kept rolling 30s and 40s for damage. Oh, boy. All right, Yacht. Let's see if you can take this orc's head off.
How do attack of opportunities work in this? Like if I just shift it over to the right one?
You can move. In fact, I believe it works. Yeah, you just
the area.
Exactly. You just don't leave his area.
I shift over and impose myself between him and Mercy.
Okay. All right, that is a miss, unfortunately. All right, let's go to the orc that's on you. We'll reciprocate that attack. Slashes with his short sword, and he misses you. So now we're to Mercy.
I'm kind of saddened by the other orc. How he had to die. All he wanted was a horse. Just food, that's all he wanted. I tried to appeal to the orc to the south. In fact, I attempt to persuade him. And I speak to him in Orcish.
Ooh.
I tell him, look, your friend is already dead. Run! There's no reason to die. So I want to roll a persuasion check here.
Sure. Here's withdrawing from close combat. All right. Yeah, it's unsuccessful. So basically, you have to take an action and go into defend, and that'll give you a +2 to your parry. And then they get the attack anyway. There's no type of disengage or anything like that. But if you do that, you'll at least still have a +2 to your defense, you know. Well, to your parry anyways. All right, so it looks like we've got the orcs on you. Again, Fargus has got the drop on you. Thankfully, you do not have that shaken on you. Uh-oh. Oh my god, look at that. Jesus Christ. That is a hit with a raise, so I'm going to have to do an extra dive damage to you. That's the beautiful thing about Savage Worlds. I rolled low. Look at that. That is really good for you, Fargus. I rolled a total of 6. Your toughness is 7. So even with a raise or a crit, it does not affect you. It's still a glancing blow. So even though that was like well over your parry, you can only get 1 raise. So Fargus, you're up again.
I will swing back at him.
All right, 4's a miss. Whoa. You can use bennies to re-roll your attacks, too, if you want to.
I will
Or
use
you-
a Benny then.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and just throw a benny down in the chat, and you may attack again. Oh, you can keep using bennies if you want to. That's how Savage Worlds works. You can just keep using them till you're out if you want to. But then again, if you need bennies for soak rolls, then you're out. You're in trouble, you know?
Well,
All
my
right.
flaw or hindrance was arrogance, so I'll use one more.
All right. Oh, I like that. Give yourself a benny for using a hindrance like that. I like it. So now there you go. There's a 15. I'm going to add a benny back to you for using your hindrance. I like that. So now you hit with a raise, and it's already your plus damage in the lower left should be lit up yellow. So now do your damage, and it'll add another d6 on too. Hopefully you can take this thing out. There you go. You do 11 damage. Yeah. Oh boy. 11 damage. The orc is incapacitated, and there's nothing but a big pool of blood in front of you. So you can go ahead and take your movement if you want, and we'll go to Yacht.
Yeah, it won't let me move, Dave.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look on that. I don't know if I think moving is an action, so I don't think you might not be able to move after you attack. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to figure that out. But all right, so you do a total of 7 damage to the orc with your hit from your spear. Glancing blow, he just absorbs it, laughs at you, and then he attacks you with a short sword. Oh, I thought that was going to be a 6. He misses. Mercy, the caboose, you're up. I think you have to move first, but I have to check that.
Yeah. I know that the way we were playing it was pretty much like 5e.
Yeah.
Action move, so long as you don't eat up your move.
Yeah, but I think moving is considered an action. I'll have to look at that.
So I attempt one more time to appeal to this orc. Speaking in Orcish again, and I point over to his dead friends. They've both died now. Please run while you still can.
Give me a +2 on your roll. Your wild eye saved you.
Yeah.
All right. He stops and he puts his hands up. Okay, I leave. No kill grog. No kill grog. We'll do a Fargus, you're up. He puts his hands up and he says, I stop.
Drop your weapons and your gold and leave.
He drops his weapon and then he drops his pants because he has a piece of rope that's used for a belt that has a pouch on it, and he pulls it and his pants fall down. He's in his skivvies. So he runs away.
Start running.
He does. He starts running away. Nice ambush, huh? So very good job.
First thing I do is check with Yacht and Fargus both. Are you okay? Did you get hurt?
Nope, all good. Not a scratch.
Nope, that was easy.
Oh, should I ramp it up next time? No, I'm just kidding.
I mumble, not really, and I walk back over to this other orc.
Sure. There's a total of, on the coin purse that was on Grog, who dropped his drawers, and on the other 2 dead orcs, there's a total of 20 gold shields. In fact, there's a total of 21 gold shields. And I will go ahead and distribute that between all of you.
So, while they're checking the corpses, I'm here at this other orc, and I've kind of kneeled down at him, and I've pulled out a few herbs out of my herb pack, and I start chewing on them. And if anyone looks at me, I'm just doing some kind of hand motions, like I'm chanting or whatever.
All right, so it looks like the party sheet works differently in Savage Worlds, so you guys will have to add 7 gold onto your character sheets. They're called gold shields. There's gold shields, there's silver shields, and then there's going to be gems. And 10 silver shields equals 1 gold shield. So you guys got 7 gold shields apiece. And that was from...
Gotcha.
7. that was definitely was not a 70.
7.
Exactly. Renus, thank you very much for the follow. All right. So what say you, adventurers? You guys are checking around on the corpses. One of the orcs also has a really nicely made dagger. Definitely not of orcish origin. So there's also a pair of heavy riding boots, but those were on one of the dead orcs. But the boots, the front of the boots were cut, so his big toes were hanging out of it. They were just too small of boots. His toes are poking out. But there is a really nicely made dagger. And the way that there's not a lot of magic items in Savage Worlds, well, not in Hellfrost, that because any kind of plus modifiers really throw the game out of whack. So if there's anything that's ever magical, it will probably have like a free edge on it or a free hindrance if it's like cursed or something like that. But sometimes there may be +1 to damage, but you won't get any +1 to hits unless it's like a super rare like artifact or something like that. Because everything is, numbers are so low in Savage Worlds, so. All right. So who wants the dagger?
My character doesn't know anything about it. She's just very wrapped up here where they work.
Okay. It's a nicely crafted dagger. So whoever's going to take the dagger, just go ahead and open up the item section and just drop a dagger on your sheet. But in parentheses, put Mastercraft. All right, so what are you doing with this orc over here to the north, this dead orc?
Well, I've spent a lot of time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And after some while, I stopped waving my arms around and I stopped chanting. And you can see my character kind of looking straight ahead and looking off to the right, and then smiles and waves. And then she gets up and walks over to the other orc. and continues the same odd ritual.
So you're just hanging out with the orc, and then you stand up and look over and just start waving to something, waving to the air.
Yeah.
Are you seeing his spirit off or something, Vay?
There's no telling what she's seeing.
Daniel Aaron, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. All right, adventurers. What say you? You're going to do that? Well, you can only do it to the 2. But at least your cargo is not been stolen from you. It looks like nobody's died. So great job on your first encounter. So I'm going to give you guys another Benny for your first successful encounter. Good job. Damn, Mercy's got 6 bennies already. Use those bennies, because you'll use them. If you don't use them, you'll lose them. You'll always start every session with 3 bennies, but there's also luck edged where you can get another benny, or if one of the beautiful viewers in the channel, they could buy you guys bennies too. All right, adventurers. You guys want to continue on towards Dunross? You have it's probably afternoonish by this point. You'll probably have a cold evening ahead of you.
Dave, I can't get the dagger to pop up in the item menu.
Okay, let's see. Items. Let's see. Did you do a search for a dagger, or?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Did you add one to your inventory, or?
No, I
You gotta-
didn't add one to it.
You got to make sure you got the right tabs selected, because the equipment is by tabs up top. So you'd have to have the weapons tab selected. There you go. I got a dagger added to your sheet for you.
All right, thank you.
Yep, not a problem. All right, guys.
Well, as I finish doing a very similar thing here to this orc, I get up and address the other guys. Alright, well, now that the orcs are resurrected, they were very sorry about what they did, and they won't mess with us again. We can be on our way now.
Goo-goo.
Resurrected?
Well, sure, I mean, we killed them. But it's okay, I mean, they attacked first, I understand. You had to defend yourself, it's okay. No harm here. Everyone is fine. As I continue to chew on my leaves.
Yacht just raises an eyebrow.
Yes, because you can clearly see the orc's corpse still laying on the ground.
I know, I put them there.
All right, so
let's
you
get
guys
back to the
continue on. All right. So the rest of the afternoon is uneventful, and the wind starts to pick up as you can hear it swirling all around you and pounding on your face, with the occasional snowflake. Feels like someone throwing a rock at your face. And as the sun starts to set, this is when the temperature really begins to drop, and it's dropping at a steady pace. And the skies, they clear. And it looks like it's going to be a very, very cold night. But ahead of you, you spy, which one of you, go ahead and give me a notice check. If you don't have notice, just give me an unskilled check. All right, so Fargus, off into the distance, ahead of you, you can see that there is a distinctive silhouette of a travel tower. And you know that these travel towers are refuges that are constructed by the guild called the Road Warriors. Not the Road Warriors, but the Road Wardens. The Road Warriors, yeah! WW. But anyway, these travel towers, they're spaced out periodically on the trade routes. And the Road Warriors, I'm just going to call them the fucking Road Warriors, because that's just going to be said every time. So the Road Warriors, they build these things so you can stay the night, and there's usually someone there from the Road Wardens that you can go and, pay a small fee, which they don't even charge anything. It's just all by donations. And like I said, they're all sparsely placed and spaced off